de mi suegro no estaba tan grande.
Back.
El Beto haga risa. Aguantamiento, va a dar con la cola.
Alright, welcome to Lost Canyon. My name's Cody. I'll be your driver and your tour guide. In front of us, we got a beautiful view. Some butts. Okay, these are the butts of Dick and Duke. They are dappled percheron, otherwise known as gray percheron. They call them dappled because when they are born, they're as black as her shirt. Not the white on the shirt, just straight black. And as they get older, they actually dapple out or change color. And by the time they're fully aged and about ready to pass, they'll be almost fully white. And they're about halfway there. They're like 12 and a half. They'll be 13 this fall. So I mean, they're a little under half, but as you can see, they're mostly dappled out. Mostly white.
Mm.
Bonito está. Sí, está muy bonito.
So as we get up closer, we go through these narrows. Unless you want to lose a finger or something like that, I suggest you keep your hands and feet inside there. But if you want to lose it, stick it out.
No, thanks.
I mean, it's pretty tight, so it's up to you.
Con la cabeza. Wow, man.
This is called the Congressional Hall. And why they call it this is because they think it's big enough to actually hold a meeting for the Congress. It's also believed to be a meeting area for Native Americans because like it's so secluded, and obviously nobody knew about it until like the Dells were settled, whatever they started telling them things like that. And actually, this is created by a whirlpool. About 14,000 years ago, when the glaciers melted, it came down through here and just wiped everything out, created whirlpools, and carved that out, and then as we make it up to the next narrow, there's a lot more.
Cuidado, ¿eh?
Talking a little history about this place. It was started in 1929, and at first it was started as a walkthrough tour, so people would walk through here and do stuff like that, have fun, all that. But too many people abused that privilege, and they're having fires and drinking and engraving in the rock. In 1957 they actually changed it to horse-drawn, and it's been that way ever since. And the same owner owns it today. This is a privately owned canyon. It's about 100 acres here, including the canyon and then the park across the street. It's called Avies Garden. Right up here on my left, across one of the most popular rock formations. Anybody know what it is? Okay, you see that plant right on the tip of that peak, that green plant?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, what's that look like?
Oh, cabeza de algo. Como cabeza de una culebra.
Snake? Head?
Like a bird.
Bird?
A bird.
A beak. You see the beak?
Oh, I see it.
Now you got the two wings on both sides.
Oh.
Oh, really?
¿Dónde, hija? Yo no veo.
Donde está la florecita es la cabeza y aquellas son las alas, mira.
¿De qué? ¿De un águila? ¿De
Call
un
that
pájaro.
the eagle in flight.
De los de tiempo pasado.
De un águila.
Oh. Pues yo no le veo forma de águila.
Sí.
Now keep in mind that's all nature
Oh, ya le vi.
creation. If we would have done it, it wouldn't look that good.
Ahí está, ahí está.
Sí, se ve. Mira, mira en el video.
Ahí se mira.
Yo parecí con una cabeza de culebra, le veo.
Where are you guys from?
Que no sea. Es que antes aquí hacían fogatas y la gente grafiteaba. En 1955 fue donde lo hicieron ya más prohibido.
Porque mira cuánto árbol hay caído.
Yo pienso que por eso sacaron ese computador. Eso era gratuito.
Sí, viste ahí en la pared de atrás, allá atrás como borrada.
What's your name? Ashley? You want to do me a favor, Ashley? Go flip that light switch. Whoa, I won't leave you behind, I promise. Perfect. Hop back on. What do you guys think that is? What do you guys see when you drive through town? Stoplights. There you go. Okay, so this is the longest narrow in the canyon, and there's nowhere to turn around. So if two wagons meet in the middle of this, there's nowhere to go. One of you guys has to back up. And I've been driving for 9 years. That don't mean nothing, because I know people that have been driving for a lot more than 9 years, and they still can't back their car out of a garage. So I don't want to back this team of horses out of this can.
¿Sabes? Aquí se me figura la
Now, remember what
película
I
de
said about the
King Kong.
whirlpools? If you look at these rocks, and you say right here, look at that. That's from the whirlpool.
Oh, ya, círculo.
Una nave espacial.
This is right here. Really cool out of this corner.
Ay, acá nos encontramos otro.
Oh, we found you after about a couple weeks.
You guys have any toilet paper?
Let's go ahead and use white on. Okay, so you guys see this tree that runs through both ways? Actually, that is not a spring fed. It's runoff water from all like the parks and stuff built up around us. Actually, that one right over there, that's the wilderness. They kind of built really like basically on top of us. And when they put all that cement in, all that runoff water comes down through here. So in the really dry summer months, it all dries out. And then it's still beautiful because of all the moisture down here, but there's no running creek.
Mira el árbol, la raíz.
Family, pregúntale si aquí no tienen problemas cuando están las lluvias muy fuertes.
See something cool? Anybody see anything cool?
Oh my God.
Everything's
That tree?
cool. Yeah.
Well, if you look at this big tree right here, growing off the cliff, or the side, the wall, whatever you want to call it, that tree's over 110 feet tall. Whoa.
100 pies.
Yeah.
Pretty big, ain't it? What do you think? How could a tree that big be growing off the side of a hill like that? Anybody
100
know why?
pies. No.
You?
No.
It's because of the roots. The roots of that tree actually go into that sandstone as far as the tree is tall. So there's over 110 feet worth of roots going into the side of that sandstone cliff as a tree. Pretty impressive, ain't it?
Does it get bad out here when there's a bunch of rainfall?
Yes. Actually, last week, Tuesday, I think it was. Yeah, because that was, no, was it this week? Yeah, it was this week, Tuesday. We got a whole bunch of rain. And actually, we didn't even know if we were going to be able to be open. Because with all that rain and all that runoff water, all of that comes down through here so fast because it's so narrow and the water gets really high. So, well, we ended up opening. It was pretty high water, but it wasn't, I mean, it was probably knee deep. And there's been times where they're still open and it's up to like that wooden tongue right there.
Yeah.
So,
Cierran cuando
Yeah.
llueve fuerte, ¿ah?
Huh?
Cierran.
Yeah, when it gets like.
El agua baja fuerte por aquí.
Bueno, pero después de subir, hija. No.
oh, by the way, that tree that was right off the cliff, forgot to tell you guys, white pine. Unique tree because not only is it an evergreen, it is also a hardwood. Very, very, very few trees. One of the only that is both.
It's very nice here, man.
It's really peaceful and everything until you hear the music from the wilderness. Got that
Para la
stuff cranked.
niña, para la alumbrada.
Come on. Oh. Where's that road go?
¿El ruido del agua?
Huh?
¿Se oye el agua? ¿O
El sonido.
el sonido del agua?
¿O qué preguntó?
¿Qué para dónde va?
Va al agua, ¿no?
I
For
hear
lake?
water.
Huh?
I hear
River?
water.
There's
I
a
heard
pond
it,
up there. They do have a pond. There's actually a golf course right up here, so they got a couple of holes going.
I don't know.
Anybody else? No? Goes home for the horses. Back to the barn.
Oh.
No.
So
La casa de los caballos.
every day it takes about 30 minutes to get down here. Takes about 15 or 20 to get back.
Mm.
They're pretty happy to go home. They get all their treats, grain, hay, all that stuff.
Por
So
eso
right
se
now
van
they're
para allá.
like, oh, crap, we don't get to go. They're actually doing pretty good. Usually they like get all prancy and stuff. They're pretty good right now. You guys will probably be their last night there.
Pero eso ve su casa.
Para allá lo llevan.
Come on. I know you're scared. It's okay.
¿Allá viven ellos, los caballos, hija?
Yeah.
En otro te van a subir otra vez para acá.
Ya la noche yo creo, ¿no?
Did everybody see this pine tree up here? Kind of drooping down.
Yeah.
It's gonna be right above us in a couple seconds here. Anybody know what kind of pine tree that is?
No.
No? No guesses?
Mm.
Pine tree.
That's it.
Not a Christmas tree. I'll tell you that much. Canadian hemlock. Came from Canada. Native to Canada. Tell you why I ended up here in a second. First, I'm gonna show you why it's unique. Why do you guys think it's so unique?
There's probably not a lot around here.
That's very true. That is another reason.
Ujú.
But the tree itself is unique, like everywhere. Super small pine cones, the smallest pine cone. Yeah.
That's cute. Huh?
You guys want to see what the pine cones look like?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay, good. You guys looking at the ground over here, seeing pine cones like this? Wow, you're stupid. These aren't small. What kind of pine cones I'm looking at? I'll find a couple here. It'll take me a little bit. They're pretty small.
¿Qué
Bien
quiero hacer?
chiquitos. Los
¿Piñas?
pumpkins. Yeah, but like this one.
¿Qué preguntó, hija? ¿Qué qué?
Que por qué son especiales aquí. Porque tienen.
La venta la piñita muy chiquita. Muy bien.
Boom.
Mm.
Boom.
La piñita,
Those are pine cones.
la piñita de los pinos.
Oh, está
That's a
bien
pine cone.
chiquitita.
Really?
Yeah. It's a pine cone. No joke. This tree produces the smallest pine cone. That's why they're unique. Free souvenirs.
Recuerdos gratis.
As Ashley said, another reason they're unique is because they're located here in the Dells. Why do you think they're? Well, how do you think they got here?
I do not know.
Any guesses as to how the Canadian hemlock got here? It's not native to Wisconsin. It's native to Canada.
No.
No ideas? Okay.
No.
So what happened was, way back when, there's the glaciers and all that stuff. And that was up in Canada. Well, actually, all them glaciers, when it was melting, it formed a giant lake. And finally, the ice that was all creating a dam finally broke loose. All that water came down through here and carved these canyons the way they are. It also brought with it some plants and some seeds and stuff like that. That's where the Canadian hemlock comes from. And they thought it would have took hundreds of years to carve these canyons, but after researchers looked at it, and with the whirlpools and some other stuff, I'm not smart, so I don't know what all stuff they looked at, but they think that it only took less than a week to carve this canyon because of all that water that was rushing through here. So that's pretty awesome. And one of the reasons it carved out so nicely and easily is because it's Cambrian sandstone. And Cambrian is because when all the continents were still like Pangea or whatever you call it, this was all under water, and it's like Caribbean Sea or whatever like that. Because Wisconsin was still underwater. Well, then when the continents separated, we were no longer in water. We just had a giant piece of ice over the top.
Miles de años.
Te digo que a mí con la figura de esa película de King Kong, donde caen todos y salen los animales bien grandototes. Me da. ¿No, hija? ¿Verdad que se parece? Que la vinieron a filmar aquí.
Now, you guys remember me and saying who Avy was? The owner? Yeah. And well, quite a few years ago, Wilderness actually asked Avy if they could take down a few trees to build their fence around their, their resort or whatever. And as you can see, they took down more than a few trees. They went through and clear cut a whole bunch of trees. And that really upset Avy. And so, not only did she not really like Wilderness, But in return, she planted like 150 trees. So not all, it's pretty obvious that not all 150 of them trees are going to grow because chances of that happening are very unlikely. But probably a third of them trees will get like sprout roots that stay and all that stuff. So, and the reason they actually did it is because, for one, they're fence, obviously. And for two, they wanted a better view of the canyon for their guests. And if you looked up there, you could see like guest rooms and stuff like that.
Si se me figura. Yo a los agujeros digo, va a salir un animal de ahí.
What do you guys think? Is it pretty?
It is.
Yeah.
Beautiful?
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Actually, up ahead, we usually stop and rest our horses if we have a full wagon, but we don't have a full wagon, so I probably won't stop. At least tie them up and wait at like 5 to 10 minutes or whatever. But I will stop, not of course here, because I don't like the view. I don't know about you guys, but when you're looking at nature and stuff like that, I typically don't want to look at the crosswalk in between the two wilderness resorts. And then a little bit farther up, there's the zip lines to run, so the horses don't always like that. And you have some screaming little kid going across the zip line.
For real.
They're screaming and the horses are like, Actually, my first tour of the day today, there was a deer standing right up on top of this rock. And when we came around, we didn't even notice it until we were past it. And we went to tie up. And we looked around and I was like, whoa. And then I was like, hey guys, look, a deer. And they're like, what? And then they turned around and they're like, whoa. And then I had to get pictures of the deer because it was like point blank range away. And then I think it was my third tour of the day, that deer had actually, it was a doe, and then another doe showed up. But that other doe that showed up, she had twins. So 2 baby fawns with her. If you guys have any questions, I'll try to answer them. If I don't know the answer to your questions, I can make something up because you won't know the difference. Horse questions, canyon questions.
Hija, pregúntale si aquí vivían nativos americanos.
Okay, you know I said I usually stop up there and rest the horses.
Yeah.
Well, these horses don't really need to rest. But when I stop up there, I give people a sales pitch. I'm like, I tell them basically how it is. Okay, so us drivers, we don't really get paid for driving. We get paid a little bit for driving the horses every day. But the way we actually get paid is through tips from the customers. If you guys like us, sometimes you tip us. If not, it's usually because you don't like us. And otherwise, buying souvenirs. Not souvenirs you find down at the gift shop, souvenirs that I have right down here by my feet. So if any of you guys want to look at them, I have them here. And if you want a price, just let me know. I have pens. Oh, I don't want to look at ones. Too bad. I have some pens, keychains, magnets. Go ahead and grab some more. I'll keep driving. I have multiple colors, pens, magnets.
Los venden.
A ver,
Porque dice que le pagan un poquito aquí y el dinero que él hace es de vender las cosas.
¿cuánto les vende?
And if you guys look at the pens, they are cool because if you turn them, just hold it up and turn the pen real quick.
A ver la pluma.
Okay, ready?
No más fíjate.
Oh,
Okay, you start the pen like that,
Uh-huh.
and you turn it. The horses move up and down the canyon. So that's pretty cool.
Una pluma.
Enséñaselo al Beto.
And how much are these?
Okay, so the pens are $5, the magnets are $5, and the keychain is $7.
Estos a 7, los magnets a 5 y a 5 las plumas.
Okay, so well, you guys
I give you the money to you or I put it here?
for the item. Oh, you give money to me.
Oh, I put it right here.
Oh, you put it right there. That's fine. That's fine.
For the pen.
For the pen.
Yeah.
Okay. Ooh, okay.
Déjale eso, si agarra
So,
eso, paga tú.
Ah, ok. ¿Tú qué quieres? Yo vas a agarrar una pluma.
Yeah.
¿Cuánto?
Yo voy a agarrar una pluma.
You got one already?
How much is for
Ya
that
no
one?
traigo
Seven.
cambio.
Seven.
$7? You got $20
¿Cuánto vas a
check?
agarrar? ¿Este
Oh,
y
I
el del
think I
refri?
do have change.
¿O qué quieres?
Look at it.
¿Otra pluma? Dos plumas, pues.
A ver, plumas.
Toma el
So
dólar.
agarro otra más.
Otras dos.
Second thought, I might have change back. Check it through.
Mira, a ver si tiene cambio de uno.
Ya, Barry.
¿Qué le pague?
I buy two pens,
2 pens?
and
Okay.
leave for your tips.
And
This 5 for your tips.
oh, okay. Thank you.
And I will take 2 pens.
2 pens?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
One more.
Thank you.
Because I want that one. I got $20.
Okay, I only got $10 right now. I don't know. How many
Five.
are there any ones in there?
Yeah.
Dáselo.
How many?
6.
6 ones?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll take that, put that in here. I'll take some of these ones. I'll get you your change. Have you your change? Okay. 1, 2, 3.
¿Para llaverito, Yogi?
There you go.
Ahí está.
Thank you, buddy.
Yep.
¿Tienes las
Thank you.
lapiceras esas?
Ya las agarró. La azul para mi hija, ¿eh?
Everybody good on their items?
Yeah.
Okay, now I'm going to tell you something really cool. Yeah, I think it's cool. Okay, so y'all see this tree going across the top?
Yeah.
It's unique because usually a tree that falls down dies. Well, this tree had a strong enough root structure to stay alive when it fell. And actually it continues to grow. As you can see, the leaves are green and everything. That's pretty awesome.
Allá arriba.
And actually, when it
Casi
fell, on that side, it cracked. And when it cracks and it's exposed to those nutrient stuff, roots will sprout out of the tree. And not only is there roots growing on this side, the original roots, but there's also roots growing in that side of the hill. So it's got 2 root structures. So it'll be interesting to see how it looks in a few years when these branches grow out. That's pretty awesome.
Looks nice.
What do y'all think that could be a crossing for? It's an animal, obviously.
Me gusta esta vida.
Esto de aquí se ve bien bonito. Este cañón.
Ooh. If anybody wants to get a picture, this is a pretty cool picture. As long as the horses keep their heads straight and stand still. I don't know how clear it is now that it's kind of darker out.
Mami, párate, pa.
So he's moving his ears, he really digs the music.
Oh, I hear the music.
He's moving his ears around, he's really liking it.
Está muy bonito.
Everybody get some good pictures?
Yep.
Okay, you keep moving.
Thank you.
Yep.
Me va a pasar un lugar.
As you can see, we got some nice bloom off on the walls.
¿De qué tocado?
Right.
Que no quieren caminar bien los caballos, yo creo, ¿verdad? Este fue el que no.
No, acuérdate desde un principio que no saques las manos porque te puedes cortar un dedo, pero que si quieres cortarte un dedo, te lo puedes sacar. Vamos aquí con la cabeza. Oh, ya sé para qué es el foquito. Apenas sé para qué es el foquito.
¿Por qué?
Para que el que venga de allá para acá no pase.
¿Y ahorita qué va a hacer? ¿Lo va a pagar?
Lo va a pagar.
Porque ya es el último, ¿da?
It's better when it's not music. Huh? Here.
Now you got the crows, the water,
Yes.
the horses.
Mosquitoes.
Voilà.